Alright, it's me, Amanda. I'm back again with the Black Maverick. We got Vashawn, or V, I like to call him for short, which everybody can call him V actually, here with us today. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
That's awesome. That's awesome. Doing great. And it's great to see you again.
For sure.
Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. So I know you're an artist, but can you go into a bit more detail about yourself?
Well, my name is Vashawn Osby. I go by V or Four. I recently started my own business called Four Paths Design, which is basically a collaborative design studio space team, whatever you want to call it, but it encompasses creatives like myself who want to put their all into their crafts and want to learn, they want to collab, they want to do better now, and right now than then.
Right.
Like constantly progressing, like every second, every moment, every day. It doesn't matter what you're doing, just constantly progressing. And that's what I try to live by. That's what I try to embody in my work, my art, my lifestyle, whatever I'm doing. I'm trying to grow, learn, and be genuine with everything I do. So yeah, when I'm not doing art, I'm meditating, practicing yoga.
That's awesome. I need to get into meditating, y'all.
I
need to woosah sometimes.
I feel you. It took me a while to get into. I started slow. I started with yoga because I got into like a car accident or whatever, and I didn't want my back to revert back to noodle status after my car accident. So I had to find a way to work out on a consistent basis to strengthen myself.
Right.
But yeah, that's how I got into yoga and meditating. I love nature, and I spend a lot of time like outside. Literally, I can spend hours outside staring at anything, any part of nature. So just doing that helped me get into meditating, because one thing I noticed about myself as an artist is there's like literally millions of tabs open in my mind at all times, and it's hard to quiet that down.
If you can't control it, it gets overwhelming.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of great ideas in your head, but it's like, okay.
Yeah, you need to be able to
I want to do everything, but dang, and then you just like, how?
Where? What do I start with? And yeah, that's why I started meditating, because there's too much going on at all times, and I needed balance. And I don't have balance yet, but I'm much, much closer to obtaining like a perfect balance for myself.
Right.
And I know you mentioned before having your own space where you can be yourself, do you, energize yourself. If you're feeling a little negative than what you normally feel, when you enter your space, you know that's going to be that space that like
it brings you back to,
yeah,
exactly. So back to your business and your brand, Four Paths Design. Besides collabing and working with other artists, what else do you do with your brand and your business?
Well, I consider myself an art director, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
And what I like to do is, so I'm a graphic designer, and a lot of people come to me for logos or like cover art design and whatnot, and I'm trying to break away from that, because although I'm good at it, or I think I'm good at it, it's not what I want to do. I feel like it's too limiting. I want to, so let's just say you're an artist and you want a cover art design for your next EP, LP, whatever you're about to put out. And you're like, okay, I have this idea, blah, 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 I want this, and I want this. And I'm like, okay, cool, but I'd much rather work on the entire project, the entire design layout, all the art that goes into the project. I want to work on that. I don't want to just design like cover art or a logo and let that be it. I want to help you brand yourself. I want to help you brand your business, find your niche. Like, although you have your business, your name, your logo, idea, all that, the art isn't all the way there. It's not like you automatically know everything that you want to do right off bat. So I want to help you find that flow,
Okay.
so you can keep it going.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
So long story short, startup companies. I want to help startup companies with their very first projects.
Y'all hear that? Startup companies, Four Paths Design. But back to the name, Four Paths. That's interesting name, but not knowing your business or exactly what was on your mind when you came up with that name. What does Four Paths mean?
Okay, so a little backstory. Before I was V or Four, I came up with this like alter ego in my 9th grade year. And it wasn't for anything, it was just an alter ego, and I called it Bancroft. So when I first started like releasing art or painting and graphic designing and whatnot, I called myself Bancroft, and everything I put out was underneath that persona.
Okay.
And when I got serious with my yoga and meditation practice and noticed how in tune I was becoming with literally the universe, everyone and everything around me, I didn't feel like that was me, so Bancroft wasn't me, which is where I came up with Four Paths Design. The number 4 is like my favorite number.
Okay.
And when you look anywhere in universe, you can see the number 4. Like, one example, the elements. Avatar: The Last Airbender, earth, wind, fire. Water.
Right.
Earth, wind, fire, water. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about a lot of stuff. And there's a 5th element that's like spirit or aether, soul. Like, it's what holds everything together.
Okay.
And me combining all that, like, it's weird because, alright, life is a never-ending journey. Like, you're always going to learn, you're always going to go through something, which is what I call the paths. Like, you're on this path, and the next moment you're on another path, but it's still the same path, it's a spiral. And I feel like everything always leads you back to the same point. Whether you look for it or not, it's going to lead you back to the same point. The same as the elements of the earth, because they're present everywhere. They're present in me, they're present in you, they're present in the lights, they're present all around us. The elements are always present. And I just want to capitalize on that aspect and help people to see that nature is what we should be studying. That's what we should be looking to learn from. That's what we should be like modeling our businesses, our ecosystems. Everything that we put our effort into, our human intelligence into, needs to derive from nature. And me looking at the world is nothing is like deriving from nature to me right now, to a certain extent. I feel like we're in a state of decay, and with my business, I want to spring life into people through design.
Okay. Now, I saw on your Instagram you had a post about a snail. You were out in nature, and you said, "I am the snail." Right?
Yeah.
So, what exactly does that mean? What does the snail represent?
The snail represents everything and nothing. Basically, I've come to understand that the universe is everything and it's ever expanding, and you and the universe are nothing but everything at the same time. So, me looking at this snail, I saw myself. Literally, I felt like I was looking at a reflection of myself looking at this snail. No one could tell me otherwise, because I understood it that way, and I still understand it that way, that everything is me and I am everything. So lights, the camera, it's all a reflection of myself because it is my reality. As you are a reflection of me because you're in my reality. So yeah, that's what I felt when I looked at this now.
All right, that actually makes a lot of sense. When I saw it, I was trying to think of what you could have meant by that, but now that you explained, it makes perfect sense.
Okay, cool.
Now, I've seen some of your art when I met you at Creative Canvas Art and Fashion Show.
Yeah.
It was the Blackout edition, and it was here in Atlanta. Now, as I mentioned to you before, the first thing I noticed was the infamous Basquiat crown. And so for those who don't know you, can you explain its importance to you in your art and why you chose to use it in your art?
So when I went to college, I went to New York. I went to St. John's University in Queens, New York. It's far away from home. Yeah, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. So me moving to New York was like huge, and I have family there, but it's not like I hang out with them, I know them, blah blah blah. So I got to meet a lot of new and really cool people who showed me a lot of new and cool things, and one of them was a Basquiat painting. I forgot the name of the painting that he had printed out and hung up on his dorm room wall. And we're high, we're very high, and we're staring at the painting, and he asked me, he's like, you know, what do you see? Because I've never like tried to critique an art piece or anything before, and I'm staring at it. It's literally been like, at this point it's been like 6-7 minutes, and I'm still staring at it, and then out of nowhere I just started crying. Like, I started crying because what I saw was very, very deep. I don't want to say what I saw because I don't want to ruin it for anyone if you still happen to look at the piece. But I don't know, I just fell in love in that moment. And I remembered how me growing up, a lot of people used to compare me to Basquiat, and I'm like, you know, I know who he is, but who is he? Like, who's Basquiat? He's like, because I had the same hairstyle growing up. Little did I know who Basquiat was. I had the same hairstyle, my hair is red, blah, 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 blah. And when I saw this painting, it put everything together for me. I was like, the guy that people compare me to painted this painting that made me feel this way, that made me shed these tears. Like, I felt awesome. So, I don't know, I just wanted to carry that going forward, because you know how Tupac says, I'm not going to be the one that changes the world, but I'm going to inspire the next whoever that changes the world. Right. That's what I felt when I saw the Basquiat crown and the entire painting.
That's what's up.
So yeah, I tried to take it and turn it into something new.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope. So you also let me know at the art show that you formed a partnership with Faith Apparel. So how did you build that relationship with this company, and do you have any updates for me? And you actually have your bag here.
Oh yeah.
You could actually.
So this was the very first bag that I worked on with my collab with them, which is my custom one-of-one bag. It's a reflective backpack. You'll probably see it reflecting. But I met the CEO through a friend who is a music producer. We were just hanging out one day, and I had my own bag with me that I custom designed. It's this tote bag that I use when I go grocery shopping, and I just throw my groceries in there. Mm-hmm. And it had my signature crown on there in the same signature 3 colors I use: olive, lime green, and orange. And the dude saw the bag, and he like, he did a double take. He was like, yo, where'd you get that bag? And then my friend like stepped in. He's like, oh, that's B, that's the one I was telling you about. Like, he's the artist. He be painting the bags, he paints everything, and then it went from there. So it was really cool, it was really genuine, like being in that space. Like, we just started talking about my art, his brand, Faith Apparel. Like, he was telling me how his logo means faith in Hebrew. It's spelled out in Hebrew, and I was looking at it like,
Yo, when I saw that on Instagram, I was like, wait, that's definitely Hebrew because
yeah.
part of faith is on my tattoo. This means amen.
I peeped that because
Yeah.
I was looking at this symbol that looks like an X, and I was like, that's on this bag.
No, that's exactly what But yeah, like, for real, I was like, okay, and then that made me think of, you know,
Yeah.
what faith means and then what amen means. And,
For sure.
you know, amen closing,
Mhm.
you know, the prayer, but, you know, in faith that God heard you.
Yeah.
You know, thinking like that.
See,
So,
everything is full circle.
yeah. I was like, no, because you rarely see people use Hebrew. A lot of people will use Arabic and things like, especially like for tattoos, it's really popular.
Yeah.
But I wanted to use something that, you know, I could relate with.
Okay.
And with me, you know, being a follower of Christ, Christian, all of that,
Okay.
that's how I got Hebrew, because, you know, it's the basic, so.
I did. So you're a religious person.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I have a religion, however, I'm spiritual as well, because without the spiritual aspect,
Yeah.
it really it doesn't mean anything. So.
That's very true. Yeah.
But yeah.
I dig.
But yeah, back to your partnership.
Yeah, so it went from him seeing my bag to him giving me 3 samples. They currently offer a black bag, a silver reflective, and a red reflective. So he just gave me one of each and told me to like go to town, like whatever you do, we'll see. And I ended up showing them the final, and they really liked it.
Okay.
So yeah, we're still going from there.
That's dope.
I finally, this week, it was you that inspired me to kind of get myself together, because I didn't want to come talk to you and I didn't have anything to show. Like, everything is there, but it's like, it's not there. So I have the collab, I just did the art show, I'm still working on art, but people don't know that because I haven't really been putting things out there. So before I came here today, I wanted to make sure that my website was re-edited for like the 3rd time.
I inspired you to do this?
You
oh
did.
My gosh, that's
And
awesome.
I finally have art on my website for sale. So 2 of the pieces that you saw at the show, I put on my website. They're for sale now. And the bags, 4pathsdesign.com.
These are dope.
You can get them there. I finally put the bags on my website, so you can get them from my site, their site. You can just go through the link on my Instagram, their Instagram. Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Yeah. And what else did I do? I started a mailing list too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, that's very important.
I'm still working out the kinks, but me adding art to my website made me think like, okay, there are people that really, really like my art. Then there are people that really, really want my art. Then there are people that like to feel included. So that's why I started my mailing list, because I wanted to be able to reach out to the people that wanted my art first and give them a chance to, you know, have that like exclusive experience and being one of the first people to see it.
Know about it.
Yeah, and then that's when I'm going to send out, you know, all these email blasts and let people know when I have new products or new art for sale and an event or something, because I do want to have my own art show soon. So
You will.
yeah, I'm trying to.
that
No, for sure.
to life.
Actually, September 9th is when I want to have my art show.
All right, we speaking that to life. It's gonna happen.
September 9th.
It's gonna happen.
September 9th.
No. So with all the artists out here, what separates your brand from others that are also based in art, of course, and why would someone choose to work with your brand and your business over anyone else's?
The experience that I can provide, I feel, is natural.
And I like that because you're into nature.
Yeah, I'm in this vibe now where I can almost feel the way that I affect other people in a way. And I feel like I understand that now because I have more so of an understanding of how people affect me,
Mm-hmm.
literally just by being in the space. So to work with my business, I feel like is going to provide you that natural experience that you need to, I don't know, I guess just move you to the next level.
And it almost also sounds spiritual as well. Just
Yeah, that's literally what I want to provide, like a entire spiritual experience. Random. When I went to school in New York, there were a lot of people I talked to. One person in like specifically who I worked with time after time, and he used the term experience designer. And ever since I heard that, it stuck with me.
mm-hmm.
Experience designer. Experience designer. Like, it just sounds so cool. Like, you have industrial designers, clothing designers, designers of anything,
Right.
but an experience designer. Somebody who designs an experience for you of any caliber. That's what I want to do. I want people to be able to have a complete, natural, holistic design experience, like when you walk into any space that I curate.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So
Thank you.
also on your journey towards finding your purpose with art and building your brand
Mm-hmm.
and managing your business, what's one thing that you've learned that you'd like to share with others who might be on the same path?
Be comfortable with yourself and what you do.
That's good advice.
You can spend all the time in the world thinking about the most immaculate accomplishment ever, but it's not going to mean anything unless you get off your ass and work at accomplishing it. Seriously, take this from me with not a grain of salt, but like your life depends on it, because that is what life is about.
Yeah.
You can be as creative as you want, but if you're not creating, you're destroying. Create, my friends.
Okay. I like that. I like that. So, inspire, empower, uplift is the slogan of the Black Maverick, which our viewers are very familiar with that now because I ask everybody this question. But would you like to express any words of encouragement and empowerment to the Black community with that in mind?
It's a lot I want to say to the Black community, but me personally, I think it would be better for me to just say it through my art. Yeah, because as articulate of a person as I can be, I feel as though a lot of the things that I say go over heads a little.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Okay, so what's one piece of art that you can think of that you would say is speaking to the Black community? Like the Black community is its target audience. What message would you or did you convey through that piece of art?
It's not on my website yet, but it was the piece that I told you about at the show that I said, it was huge. I didn't get to bring it with me because it was too big to like transport.
Right.
But that piece, it's called Nature's Reflection. The two smaller pieces are called Nature's Reflection as well, but
With the broken mirrors
Yeah.
as the crown, that's dope. Those are dope, y'all.
but the big one, I feel like, yeah, that one for sure. That one for sure. I don't want to say it's specific to like any race of people, but definitely Black people looking at it,
Mhm.
yeah, for sure.
So what is it saying?
That's up to you to decide.
Oh, okay.
I can show it to you though.
You can show it to me, and then we'll actually show it to you guys
Yeah.
as well. We can get a picture for you.
I'm going to put it on my website at the end of this week, so it'll be available for purchase at the end of this week.
Okay.
So these are the 3 pieces,
And
and
this is the larger one.
yeah, that's the big one.
I love that. And I'll have to give my interpretation as well.
Okay.
So I can send that to you.
Okay, cool.
But for everyone or anyone who would like to work with you, view your work, or just chat with you, how can they get in contact with you?
So my business is called 4 Paths Design. That's the number 4 spelled out. Paths is plural and design, and I am 4 Paths V. So you can add me on any of those, any social media platform. My website 4pathsdesign.com. Get at me.
Peace. Y'all met V, 4 Paths Design,
4 Paths Design.
with the Black Maverick. And don't forget to check out previous videos. If you haven't subscribed already to the YouTube channel, do that. It's the Black Maverick. And follow me on Instagram. The Black Maverick. Black is spelled B-L-K. Thanks, you guys.
Peace out.